I am so pale. I don't believe that anyone needs to use fake tan. Like, I happily will wear my regular skin. But it's when I sit down and there's like a stark contrast of my face on the screen. If you're also resembling Casper the Friendly Ghost, maybe my shade match will help you out today. I did a massive shop in Superdrug on my birthday. They had so many good new things, and they even had little signs up saying coming soon. For some stuff, there was a sign up that said coming soon, NYX butter highlighters. And I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on these new things at the drugstore. I'm actually going to start with the lip balm because I saw these in the Rimmel section. This is the Oh My Gloss Butter Me Up Lip Balm. Lip Butter Balm. It says it's got squalane and peptides, which anything that says peptides, I'm like, sign me up, because normally they're very hydrating. I went for the shade Latte Delight, but these look like a dupe for, is it the Sunday Riley? No, Summer Fridays. Why do I get those confused? Summer Fridays, that's what I meant to say. They had them in all of the same shades pretty much. I went for the shade 01 Latte Delight. I swear, every single brand in there had new like lip balm products. They seem to be what everyone's after at the moment. The applicator looks like this. Can you see that? Oh, huh? I mean, it smells great, but in the store it was definitely tinted. Can you see? I'm like squeezing it, but the stuff that's coming out is not tinted. Maybe it's just separated. Hang on, let me just keep. Okay, here we go. Just needed a bit more of a squeeze. It smells gorgeous. Oh, it's supposed to smell like a latte maybe. You know what? It smells like the original Rimmel lipsticks but mixed with a nicer scent. I really don't like the taste of the Rimmel lipsticks. Actually, a lot of drugstore lipsticks, a lot of lipsticks full stop have got a really weird taste. Like, unless they're vanilla scented, I just don't enjoy the smell of lipstick. Oh my god, that feels so good. Okay, so in terms of the colour, it's very slightly tinted, but oh my god, that feels so nice. I actually really like that applicator. It would be bonus points if it was squishy. I love anything squishy. That feels like a nice, thick, hydrating lip balm. So far so good, but we'll see like if it kind of sinks in as I'm doing my face. For my primer, I got the e.l.f. Power Grip Matte Primer. You know what, I bought this and then the next day they sent me one, which is very nice of them. I'll have to put one in a future giveaway. You know what, it's about time I did another giveaway, isn't it? I will pick someone from random in the comments section to win a box of goodies, and one of the things will be this primer. I am very excited at the idea. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. Oh my god. Happy Valentine's Day. That is the weirdest texture. I don't know why, I was expecting it to be that kind of souffle kind of texture, but it is a sticky gel that feels so bizarre. I love the original e.l.f. Power Grip and the other one that they did that was like pink. I think it was with niacinamide. Those are some of my favourite primers. But when I saw that they had a matte one, I was like, yes. Oh wow, oh my god, okay, I can feel it drying. Whoa! It's really sticky. It doesn't seem to spread very far, which to be fair, the original Power Grip doesn't anyway. I forgot to mention when I started this, I have a twitch here. Just for the past like 12 hours, I've developed a twitch in my smile line, and I don't know where it came from. I was actually watching this documentary on Netflix that was talking about Elvis, and then I noticed that my smile line here and like my lips started twitching, and I was like, is that the spirit of Elvis? Do you see? So if you see that, just ignore. I definitely think that that was mattifying. It's not super matte like those souffle moussey kind of primers. It feels like a gel, but then it dries very quickly into this kind of sticky but matte feeling. Yeah, like I guess gel texture, but feels like it's gonna do a good job. I like it so far. In terms of my foundation, I managed to get the NYX Buttermelt Glaze Soft Glow Skin Tint. Thank you, by the way, because somebody commented on my previous video saying, Soph, the NYX thing is now in stores. I will say the shade range is not great. I was swatching a few of the shades and there's quite a big jump between the shades. I'm guessing it's because it's like a skin tint kind of thing. The shades are supposed to be more, like they're supposed to cover more skin tones, if that makes sense, because it's not a full coverage foundation. It can kind of get away with more skin tones. I went for the lightest one, which is called Whipped Butter, and this has got SPF 30. I think the packaging's pretty cute, but kind of random for a winter launch. To me, this is like more of a summer launch. But this is the lightest shade, which looks like it's going to be fine. It smells kind of sun creamy, but in a good way. It smells like summer to me. I'm gonna use a brush for this. I have not seen anybody use this, by the way. I've seen it on the TikTok shop, but I haven't actually seen anybody applying it. Ooh. Bear in mind, I have just used a matte primer, which is probably gonna make it look slightly less glowy. Ooh, that looks nice. It seems to be blending quite nicely. It's very smooth. I'm actually now glowing. One sec. My face is reflecting so much light that I've just had to turn the brightness down on my camera. That looks very nice. It still looks quite skin-like. Hang on, let me just do a little close-up. Oh, Okay, that is so strange. Weirdly, this side of my nose looks fine. This side of my nose, it looks a little bit weird looking. And I have a feeling it's maybe because I didn't push the primer in, like blend the primer in fully there. Because this side of my nose looks normal. Wait. Realistically, you're probably not going to be using a mattifying primer with a glowy skin tint anyway. But yeah, do you see what I mean? Like there's a few issues of like clinging around here. But I think that's probably a primer issue. I should have like made sure I fully smushed it into my nose. Because that side is fine. That's alright though, I'm sure I can fix that. I'm actually just gonna try and rub that in a little bit more. That's the one thing with those e.l.f. primers, like even the original Power Grip, you have to make sure that you really kind of like push it in and like smooth it out. See if I can build it at all. I don't really think it's buildable actually. Oh no, I've added more. This side of my nose is looking weird. I truly don't think that's the product though, because it looks nice on the rest of my face. I'm pretty sure it's just with the primer. Like don't mix a matte primer with it, but yeah. I don't have any complaints about that. It looks nice on my skin. My skin looks nice and glowy, but not overly glowy. Sometimes glowy skin tints can be too oily looking. Perfect shade match as well. Slay. For my concealer, I did actually get sent this one from Revolution. It is their new... Actually, I don't know how new this is, because the Skin Silk foundation came out ages ago. I have done a video on that. Nice foundation. This is the Skin Silk Under Eye Brightener and Concealer. This is the shade Fair Cool. And the applicator looks like the Rare Beauty one with a metal applicator. You know the Rare Beauty concealer that's kind of like the brightener instead of the actual concealer? It looks like that, so... Ooh, okay, well it doesn't apply as well. See how that's left little circles in the middle? Half the product's stuck in the middle of the bloody thing. Hello. Okay, yeah, I do not like that applicator. It's not all coming off on my skin. How strange. And I'm gonna try and blend this in with my sponge. The Rare Beauty one is definitely more on the natural side, so I'm sort of expecting the same thing from this one. It blends super easily, but I don't really know if it's done a whole lot. Kind of same as the Rare Beauty one. Like I only really use that Rare Beauty one on days where I actually don't want it to look like I'm wearing makeup. I'll put a tiny little dot under my eyes just to brighten them. Wouldn't necessarily wear it with foundation. And that is giving me the same vibes. I feel like it doesn't do much in terms of coverage. It gives the tiniest bit of coverage, but I will say it feels nice and hydrating. Yeah, it's not like a full-on concealer. It is more of an under eye brightener, which is for more of a no makeup kind of day, I would say. So don't buy this expecting it to be like a full-blown concealer. Also, it's bugging me that I need to dip back in every single time. Let's try blending the rest with a brush and see if that helps. Yeah, it's not gonna give you much coverage, but yeah, I think the skin tint looks really nice. My skin is looking very fresh. I'm gonna use my Maybelline eraser. For some reason, the shade that I usually use, which is 00, it was working fine and like it was all coming out the top, and now it only seems to want to come out of the side. So I have to do it like that, and then it all like comes out the sides. I've been getting spots like all the way down my neck, and I don't know what's going on there. For my cream bronzer, I've got two different things to try. I've actually had this for ages. I bought this back in the summer and I just had never got around to using it yet because I was waiting until I did like a drugstore video, and then I kept having other products to test. So I have the 17 Sculpt Define Contour Wand, which is obviously supposed to be a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury one. I went for the shade 2 medium because the shade 1 was really light. And then I also have this, which is from Revolution, which is their new bronzer stick. And they did send me a PR package of these. They've sent over the shade Sand, which actually that looks really light. Let me just check if there's another shade. I think that's going to be too light. Actually, I will try it. I will give it a go. I also have the new blushes from this range, so let's try this on one side. Wow, okay, if you are very, very fair, you might actually like this colour. Let's see how it blends out. Also going to try that on my nose, if it will even show up at all. That is the lightest bronzer I actually think I've ever tried. Whether or not it will blend into anything, let's see. The problem with a lot of cream bronzers is quite often for fair skin, they come across way too warm or just way too dark, and then they just make you look orange. But, okay, that's kind of not really blended into much. On my forehead particularly, I can still see it on my cheek though. Let's just put a tiny little bit more here. To be honest, I like my bronzer to be a little bit darker, but if you don't, and if you quite often find that your bronzer is too dark, like if you compare the size of my face, that's obviously with nothing, that's with the bronzer. It's not too orange and it's not too dark. So if you have extremely fair skin, you might like it for that reason. You can see it enough. Probably once I've powdered, that's gonna disappear and I'll lose some of the colour. But maybe if you don't like powder and you just like to wear cream products, that has done a subtle something. Not personally my cup of tea. I would go for a shade that's darker, but hopefully that's helpful. Okay, so let's try the 17 one on the other side. Oh, that is so satisfying. This looks exactly the same. Okay, maybe not. That's... I was gonna say it looks exactly the same as the Charlotte Tilbury one. That is definitely darker. But it seemed to blend out quite sheer when I was swatching it in the shop, so yeah. blends out as sheer as the Charlotte Tilbury one. Given how dark that was, I was really scared for a minute, but let's see how we go here with blending, because that blends really similarly to the Charlotte Tilbury one, which also blends like a dream and kind of really sheers out. Actually, I don't know if that's sheared out a bit too much. Kind of like, where did it go on my forehead? That is a true contour shade. It's a cool toned bronzer. So let's try on my nose. I kind of want to mix both of these together. That is a good nose contour shade. I actually kind of want to put a little bit of the bronzer on the other side and a little bit of this on that side. So I'm just going to put a dab to kind of even it out, and then same down my nose, let's just put a little bit. On the other side, let me just take some of this pale bronzer on a brush and just add some over the top, because mixed together, I feel like they will work nicely. Oh, okay, don't let it dry for too long, because now I've got a little blob. Okay, I think that's good. And then, oh my god, I love how that blends. Both of those are a win for me. I would personally just get this one in a slightly darker shade, but that blends great. Listen, like the drugstore prices may be raising, but the quality of drugstore makeup is just getting better. We've come a long way since the Revolution Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette dupes, which is actually where my channel began. What a time to be alive. Right, I've not seen these anywhere. It almost felt illegal. Like they had products in there where I was like, I've never seen these. Are they supposed to be out on shelves? They are new from Maybelline, and they are the Sun Kisser matte blushes. I think I did a video when the original Sun Kisser blushes came out. I didn't like them, which was quite a shock to me at the time, because most Maybelline products, I'm like, yeah, they have their formulas down. But the original Sun Kisser with like the shimmer in, they just would cling and were like sticky on my face, and I couldn't get them to work for me. But when I saw they had these matte ones, and this shade was calling my name, it is the shade Pink Mirage. Definitely more of a coral, but okay. I got excited. This was the lightest shade. They're really bright, which makes me think that, I don't know, you're only gonna need like a little dot of it, but they seemed to blend really nicely. So I'm going to try that on one side, and then on the other side I've also got more of the Revolution ones, which again were in that same PR package. I think we all know that I'm going to pick the peachy pink, which I did already swatch on my hand and got rid of the swirl. It's got to be that one. Let's try this one first, because I have a feeling the Maybelline one's going to stain my brush. So I'm just putting a little dot of that, and then I'm going to blend it out. Oh, it's matte. Don't know why I was expecting it. Where did that go? I don't know why I was expecting it to be shimmery. I'm just going to do what I usually do now with stick products and take it directly onto my brush. That just works so much better. Okay, it's actually a very matte blush. I don't know why looking at it, I thought it might have a bit of shimmer, but no, that's a really like, almost like a matte blurring blush. I mean, it looks nice. I've needed to just build it a little bit there, but I like the colour. I don't know, I'm kind of thrown off by the fact that it's so matte. Like, there's not even a slight oiliness to my cheek. Do you know what I mean? Like, that just looks very matte. But I would use that again. And then on the other side, let's try the Maybelline. I'm kind of terrified. It looks almost neon. So let's do a little blob. Was that a mistake? Was that way too much? And then blend out. Okay, thank God. That blended so much easier than the original Sun Kisser blushes with the shimmer in. Like, these ones feel a lot more liquidy. The shimmery ones were thicker and had a bit more of a stickiness to them. Wow, that's definitely a very bright, like, it's a bright corally blush. I think in the summer, like the spring, summer though, that would be so nice. They had a bright red one. I think they had a more purpley one. So more versatile for lots of different skin tones, because I have a feeling like with how bright these are, that's going to pick up on a lot of people. This one is also matte. The formula is a little bit thinner. This formula is obviously more creamy. This is more of a liquid. Reminds me more of a kind of cheek stain. I'm just gonna go over this side with what's left on my brush to kind of even them out a little bit. I was wandering around looking for a powder. Couldn't see any new ones, so I'm just gonna use the Lottie London pink powder. Lottie London Ready Set Go powder in pink, which I like because it's not too pink. Sorry, how do we still not have that square packaging Maybelline one in the UK? It has been years now. In terms of bronzers, the only thing that seemed to be new was like all of the NYX butter bronzers. They had like every single shade in the store, but I've already tried those. So I'm gonna go for this one, which is the L'Oreal Fresh Wear matte bronzer. I've got the shade 300 light medium. I don't know why, this just looks a bit boring to me. I feel like I must have tried this in a past life. Not in a past life, but like in like previous years. It looks very similar to some of their older bronzers, which are kind of like, what is that in my hair? They do the job, but they're like nothing to write home about, you know. Wow, actually that looks kind of dark. I think I actually took a little bit too much. This looks like it might be a good nose contour shade though. I would say the best bet at the moment if you're looking for a new drugstore bronzer is try the NYX Buttermelt ones. They're really nice. For nose contour, it does have a little mirror and like a little section in the bottom for a powder puff, but you would not need a powder puff with a bronzer, so interesting. Maybe you could hide some little like, I don't know, some little sweets in there. Then for powder blush and for highlighter and stuff, I was literally just wandering around Superdrug. Again, they had all of the NYX Buttermelt blushes, but I've tried those already, so I was like, I don't want to buy a blush just for the sake of it. There didn't seem to be any new ones that I hadn't already tried, and if there were any old ones, they just weren't really tickling my fancy. I'm just going to use this one today, which I just had in a drawer, but I've never tried it before. It's the L'Oreal blush in 120 Rose. It says Rose Santal / Sandalwood Pink. Looks like this, and again, it's got like a little, it does come with a brush in this one, but I'm just going to use this one, which is a Charlotte Tilbury one. But it also just looks a bit boring. No offense. No, actually, it's kind of giving bridal. That's actually a really pretty colour. Obviously, I'm adding it over the top of the blush that I've already got on, but it is definitely giving me a little bit of colour. That's actually a really pretty colour. If you've got fair skin, I don't think this would show up on any skin tones that are much darker than mine. That's actually nice. Cannot remember if I've used this in a YouTube video, but this was one of the No. 7 Pro Artist highlighter. It's a highlighter and bronzer, it says. I would say that's a highlighter and highlighter, but for just 2 different skin tones. Some of the new No. 7 products are so nice. You know what? I was into Superdrug. I should have gone to Boots and got the new sticks from No. 7, like the bronzer and blush sticks, because I've seen those on TikTok and they look nice. It's just a really nice, kind of naturally radiant highlighter, and I'm just blending that over my whole cheek. My cheeks are very, maybe a bit much, but I'm gonna go with it. Moving on to eyebrows, the main thing that I was looking for was the new NYX brow pencil that I'd seen people posting about. It is called the Nano Brow Mechanical Pencil. I got the shade Ash Brown, which is my usual shade in NYX brow products, but then I saw this. It was this new section, it said new e.l.f. Holy Strokes Microfine Brow Pen. Again, I was like, is this illegal? Is this out yet? I went for the shade Neutral Brown, but I don't know. There were none to test, and it's so hard to see from the pictures. I worry this might be a bit too light, because generally with brow pens, I go a little bit darker. The next one I go for Ash Brown, but then the Ash Brown shade comes out a lot darker than the pencils. Oh, it's skinny, like really skinny. Something that made me very happy to see is they also had this, which is the Maybelline Super Fluff Brow Gel, which again, brand new. I went for the shade Deep Brown, and I have an explanation for this. I actually tested a sample of this a few months back. It was before Christmas. Occasionally I receive samples to test products before they've gone live, just so that the brand can get feedback before it goes to launch. So I tried it in just like a regular tube, like a sample packaging. I didn't know that this was what the main packaging was going to look like, but I really like that packaging. And the shade that they sent me to test was actually Deep Brown, and normally that would sound like it's going to be too dark for me, but it actually kind of really worked well. And I really liked the sample that I was testing. It reminds me a lot of the Benefit brow gel that I use all the time, the tinted one that's kind of the wax one. It's like the bigger tinted one. So normally what I will do is go in with the brow gel first, and then I can fill in the gaps that are missing. Also, sometimes I find with a lot of drugstore, actually, and high-end brow products, is that the darker shades tend to be a bit more cool. Sometimes the lighter brown colours are a bit more orangey. I would say it's like a waxy tinted brow gel, if that makes sense. If you have tried the Benefit, the formula is very similar. It kind of feels like it's holding your brows in place with a little bit of tint, but it's not a wet formula at all. This is the nib of the e.l.f. brow pen, but that looks like it's gonna be too light. Hello. Oh my god, no, I should have gone for the darker shade. What have I done? It does say shake well. Okay, I'm gonna shake it like that so I can flick it all to the end. Oh man, I wish... Okay, that worked. Oh no. Now I've shaken it too much. Okay, wow, that's what the colour actually looks like. Let's give it a go. Okay, actually, maybe this is the perfect colour. So I'm just gonna use this. Can you see how I'm doing more feathery motions towards the front? Already seems like it's kind of drying up. Brow pens are so hard to get right. It's hard to get enough product to come out of them. So I feel like for that reason, I generally go for a darker shade, because then you get more pigment without having to like continuously shake it. I feel like it's just, I can see the end of it is going like a lighter colour as I'm using it, as the product is kind of like drying up as I use it. So I don't know, guys. Somehow the NYX one just keeps flowing. Okay, once I've shaken it again, fine. But then now that's a bit too much. I just compare everything to the NYX brow pen now because that one works so well for me. I mean, the colour is great and I think that's a perfect match for my hair. And I really like how it looks, but you just have to shake it a few times to get it to work. I'll have to keep playing around with it. It's one of those things that I just have to, I guess, like trial and test. So let's try the NYX Blade and Shade brow pencil. So it has a little spoolie on one side and then the other side looks like this. It's like a square kind of thing. And you can have it on that side to shade, or that side it's got a super duper skinny little mini blade to hopefully draw some brow hairs. So let's see how this goes. Oh, it's so fine. Can you even see those strokes? Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god, it literally looks like microblading. You know what though? I'm so curious if it will stay like that because as I use it, it's obviously gonna get more blunt. The colour payoff though is so good. Like even better than their original brow pencil. You really don't have to press hard to get it to come out. That's a good eyebrow. That side almost looks skinnier than the brow pen side, which is unexpected. I'm actually just gonna try and draw a couple more hairs with that. Both sides look good. I like both of those products. I mean, obviously as you use these, it's gonna end up becoming more blunt and it's not gonna be the same kind of blade-like thing as it was before. However, it still remains skinny enough to get little strokes. Just, I don't know about the e.l.f. one. I'll have to keep trying it and let you know. But if anyone else has tried it, let me know how you got on with it. For my eyes, I was just about to leave because I was looking at the eyeshadows like, boring. They're all so boring. The only thing that's not boring, the NYX little mini sparkly eyeshadows, but I think I've used these on my channel before. So I might use a couple of these today. They're the Finest Fleck glitter eyeshadows from e.l.f. And Priyanka Chopra Jonas, I believe, is that her full name? I think. I'm so sorry if that's wrong. She has done a collab with Max Factor and they had these eyeshadow sticks, which I actually thought looked interesting. And you know what? They didn't have the new L'Oreal eyeshadow sticks in the Superdrug that I was in. I swatched this shade. I thought, actually, that looks really pretty. Might be quite nice. It seemed to smudge quite easily. And I don't generally love eyeshadow sticks for all over my eye because I find that they crease quite often, but I quite like them for just an easy along the lash line, kind of smoke out the wing a little bit and then a little bit underneath and then you're done. So I have that. Then I also have these ones which are from Avon. They had a whole Avon section in Superdrug. They did actually send me a PR package with a few bits in and these were in there. Oh wait, I'm such an idiot. These say Glimmer Stick lip liners. I saw Glimmer Stick and I was like, well, that's gonna be an eye crayon for some reason. It's a lip liner, you numpty. Okay, well, I'll have to test those in a minute. It's just gonna have to be this one and the e.l.f. ones. Avon did also send a lip oil. You know what, that Rimmel lip balm is kind of wearing off a little bit, but I can still definitely feel it. My lips feel nice and hydrated, but I'm also gonna test the Avon Nourishing Lip Oil. Ooh, whoa. I think it's supposed to smell like cherry. Kind of smells like Play-Doh. Ooh. Oh, that is a lovely texture. If anybody's watching this that doesn't know, I'm sure a lot of you do. Avon used to be, I don't know if it still is, it used to be like a catalogue and people would come around to your house and be like, do you want to buy anything from Avon? And then you would put in your order with them and then they would deliver it to you like a week later or something. But I don't know if they still do that anymore because they now seem to have a full stand of Avon stuff in Superdrug, which is kind of interesting to me because I've not seen anybody speak about Avon products in years. Maybe let's try a few more of their bits. That feels really nice. Okay, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna do a little smudgy kind of almost like a smoky brown eye. Yeah, I really liked how pigmented this was when I swatched it. It just kind of glides on and then I'm just going to use a brush to sort of smoke it out a little bit, I guess. Easy peasy. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to try the L'Oreal ones because I saw somebody using the lighter shade as a highlighter kind of everywhere and it looked so nice. And do a little wing with it. Yeah, sorry, this is not going to be a super duper interesting makeup look just because there wasn't really any eyeshadows that stood out to me. I mean, it does what it says on the tin. Yeah, I just quite liked how easily it drew on and then also it seems to blend really easily as well. They did have some other shades. They had a more like purpley one, but I was like, realistically, this bronzy color is going to be the one that I would use the most. It's like a medium brown. Sometimes cream eyeshadows go really oily and then they separate like the concealer on my lids and go weird looking, but I think that looks pretty nice. I'm also going to put some of this just along my lower lash line and do the same kind of thing, just like smudge it out a little bit. Okie dokie. And then I'm going to use one of these. These are the e.l.f. Finest Fleck eyeshadows, which I have used before, like I said, but I'm going to use one today. Maybe I'll even use two. These are supposed to be kind of like dupes for the Urban Decay Moon dust. I wouldn't quite say it's a dupe. They're not as sparkly in my opinion. These two shades actually, Straight Fire and Filthy Rich, they're not like the rest. The one that I really like is called White Hot, which actually does give a really nice kind of sparkly effect. The others just don't really pack much of a punch at all. Maybe I should try it on my eyes and see if I'll kind of change my mind. You know what, let's use the Straight Fire shade. Okay, on my eyelid, I do actually think that looks a bit nicer, but I wouldn't say it's a dupe of the Urban Decay ones. The Urban Decay ones are definitely more pigmented and definitely more sparkly. These ones are kind of like a less heavy version. Okay, actually it's stuck nicely to where I've had that cream eyeshadow. But I would say the main shade that's worth your time are the lighter shades. I'm going to use the White Hot one. It's not really a colour, it's more of just like a light sparkle. But this one actually has more pigment. See that? That actually does something. And these definitely 1,000,000% apply better with your finger. Like, I'm gonna take some on a brush just on my inner corner. I have 4 mascaras. I only have 2 eyes. The 2 that I bought the other day were the Rimmel Thrill Seeker Extreme Volume and the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal. And then I got the 2 Avon ones sent to me, which are the Lash Genius and the Wonder Curl Mascara. If anyone has tried either of these Avon ones, please let me know if either of them are good, because then I will go off of your recommendation and test that one. The original Rimmel Thrill Seeker I really liked. It was a nice mascara. However, they came out with a few versions, didn't they? And I can't remember which version it was. There was one that I really liked, and then I realised after a while that it was smudging throughout the day, so then I got a bit scared to use it again. But it was weird because on some days it wouldn't do it and other days it would. I think it just depended like how oily I got. Whereas L'Oreal mascaras never usually smudge on me. I put this in my basket and James was like, haven't you already tried that? And I was like, no, it just looks like every other mascara. I'm gonna go for the Thrill Seeker Extreme. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that brush. It looks a little bit too sparse for my liking. I don't know if it's going to grip my lashes. It does seem to be. Oh, it's a very, very dry formula. Product isn't really getting to the ends of my lashes. It's making them look more wispy. No, my lashes are definitely really sticking in there. Like the brush is really gripping to my lashes. It seems to be building upon itself really well, actually. When I first put it on, I was like, where is it? But the second coat, that has really built nicely. Let's go in with the third coat. Okay, whoa. Whoa. I think because of the dry formula, that really actually helps it to build, because sometimes when a mascara is too wet, when you try and build on top of it, it just kind of removes what's underneath, but it's definitely a grower, not a shower. Sorry, I was just taking little thumbnail shots. Just gonna do my lower lashes. Oh, okay, crap, because the brush is so big, that's kind of gone everywhere. It was going so well. It is not looking good on my lower lashes. It just looks super clumpy. Great on my top lashes, not so great on my lower lashes. On the other side, I'm going to try the L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal. Why is the brush kind of wonky? Do you see what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just looks a little bit like wibbly wobbly. That doesn't look right. But normally, I love a L'Oreal mascara, so I'm praying this does not let me down. Complete opposite in terms of the brushes. This one's got plastic bristles. Ooh. This one's very separating because of the little plastic bristles. Kind of combs your lashes as it applies. I would say in terms of the formula, it's not super wet, but it's also not a dry formula. It's somewhere in the middle. This one seems to be more lengthening than volumizing. Like it's building a little bit of volume, but it's mostly just kind of, wow, combing through my lashes and adding length. Yeah, that one seems to be a little bit more lengthening. The Rimmel one seems to be a bit more volumizing. They both look good. I like both, but I think I slightly prefer the L'Oreal side. I think it's a little bit more lifting and my lashes look a little bit longer and it's slightly less clumpy. That Avon lip oil feels really nice. For the lip liner, I have got the Avon Glimmer Stick Lip Liner in Simply Spice, which looks like it's going to be a retractable. Ooh, that looks right up my street. And then I also have, I'm going to test both because why not? The NYX Duck Plump Plumping Lip Liner. And I went for the shade Nude Flip. They didn't have any testers, so I just had to kind of go with what I thought sounded good. And Nude Flip sounds good to me. They look like the Too Faced ones, the Too Faced plumping lip liners. Why do they literally look the same? They literally look the same. Actually, the Avon one's a tiny little bit darker. Let's try the Avon one first and then I'll remove it and try the NYX one. No, my lips are too balmy. Okay. Seems creamy. That's a really good lip liner shade. It feels creamy, but not too creamy to the point where it feels like it's going to slip around all over the place. That is a great lip liner shade. I really, really like that. Let me just see if both of these are going to smudge. Okay, the Avon one seems to, whoa, that NYX one didn't move a whole lot actually. The Avon one though seems to smudge like a little bit, but it feels like a good lip liner formula. Like it's matte, it's not a super slippery one. But I just want to take that off and try the NYX one. In the meantime, I'm just gonna take an eyeshadow. I'm gonna take this middle matte colour from a little Sephora palette that I've got. Okay, the swatch looks like that. I've got the NYX Glue Face Glue Setting Spray. It looks like this. All of the kind of powder seem to have settled in the bottom, so I'm guessing we're gonna need to give this a good shake. I love the primer of this, so let's see if this, it does say transfer resistant makeup setting spray, so I have high hopes. Let's let that sit for a minute. NYX, show me what you got. Extreme Sensation. Oh god, I'm quite scared. Okay. Weird shape applicator for a lip liner. I'd rather it just be round, you know, because I kind of have to keep twisting it. Nice formula though. And according to my hand, it seemed to dry down. That is also such a nice colour. I really like that. Definitely tingling. Oh wow, yeah, the tingle's getting stronger. I think from the shade alone, my lips are already looking plump. I don't even think it necessarily needed the extra tingle. So I have the Maybelline Teddy Tints and I've sent them a couple of weeks ago. I was testing them out. I didn't try every single shade, to be fair. I tried two of the colours, but from what I can see online that's interesting, the formulas seem to be slightly different between the different shades. So some of them go on a bit more pigmented, some of them the formula seems to be slightly different. I love the packaging. I think they look adorable, but I just found them a little bit too sticky, and also my lips at the moment are super dry. I think like just in general, like my skin is dry and my lips are drier. They just were too drying on my lips, like as in my lips did not look good. So I had tried the shade Current Mood and Skinny Dip. I'm just going to show you on my lip because I was kind of applying them all over, but then I'd seen people online. This is the shade Skinny Dip. They smell so good. So I've seen people do this and then kind of tap them in. That does look really nice, like tapped in like that. But then you're supposed to kind of wait for them to dry, I think. And I mean now, after I've applied my lip balm and then lip oil, I feel like this actually looks nice on my lips now. And they definitely feel better when you tap them in like that. That shade looks really nice. But when I first tried these, the first shade that I tried was the Current Mood shade. I put it all over my lips and just immediately I was like, it's sticky, like my lips were sticking together. My lips looked dry and they looked cracked, but now, okay, now when I'm putting it on, this shade looks really nice. It is a little bit sticky. If you have also found that they're like sticking your lips together, I would say don't apply it in like a thick layer all over your lip. Apply some in the middle and then use your finger to kind of tap out the edges. Use them sparingly and you'll probably be fine. By the way, my hand is definitely dried. It feels like it's developed a film over the top of it, which, yep, it definitely has. Okay, slay NYX, that definitely stays on there. Let's put it on my face then. Oh my god, the one thing I don't like about these NYX mists is that it's such a strong like spray. That has given me an ever so slight bit of extra glow on my face and I think made my makeup look a little bit more fresh and kind of skin-like. But anyway, I'm going to finish off with the Rimmel Thrill Seeker Lip Latex. They had a picture of Maya Jama wearing these. Again, not heard anything about these. Why does the colour of that make me think that it's going to stain? Because it's like a hot pink, unless that's just the colour of the applicator. But I have no idea what the formula is going to be like, if it dries down, if it's like a gloss. It smells like a regular Rimmel lipstick, which I'm not crazy about, but they're not like crazy pigmented. It's not like a full pigment kind of thing. I don't know whether I'm supposed to leave it to dry. It does say Rimmel Thrill Seeker Lip Latex Stain. Drenches lips in extreme vivid colour with a lasting lip stain. Yeah, it doesn't seem to dry down. It almost just feels like a regular... it feels like a slightly sticky lipstick. It looks nice, but I wouldn't say it's as high shine as in the pictures. Like once you've done this, some of the shine kind of disappears. That tingle, I feel like I can taste in the back of my throat. So this is the finished makeup look. There were lots of great products in this today. Lots of things that I will 100% be using again. It's kind of crazy how I put this lip liner on like 10-15 minutes ago and it is still full on tingling. But I like the colour a lot. I like the overall look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I will link everything down below. And let me know what you think. If there's anything else you want me to test, also please let me know. And I hope you guys are good. I think I'm going to post this on a Friday, so I hope you have a nice weekend. I will see you in my next video. Bye!